The journey begins in Quito, the sprawling capital of Ecuador, which straddles the equator in South America. The more modern sections, such as Plaza Foc, are popular places for locals and tourists, with great food, bars, and even discotheques, not to mention coffee and cake shops. The colonial section of the city is another tourist favorite, featuring the Basilica de Voto Nacional, a multi-towered behemoth that boasts the title of largest neo-Gothic church in the Americas. A wander through this structure reveals huge stained glass windows, flying buttresses, and some frightening climbs up into the higher points. One of the views from here looks across the city at a prominent hill topped by a less than flattering statue called the Winged Virgin of Quito. Ecuador sits right in the middle of the world, although some debate exists as to the equator's actual location. There's a few monuments that claim the title of Mitad del Mundo. Decorated lattes and craft beers can all be sampled within view of one of the monuments. North from Quito is the town of Voto, famous for its large crafts market where one can purchase local wares such as jewelry, ponchos, bags, and rugs. A not-so-short walk up the road brings intrepid travelers to a rather pleasant waterfall. One of the main attractions in Ecuador is a series of volcanic islands about 1,000 kilometers from the coast named the Galapagos. It's famous for its close-range wildlife viewing as well as being a foundation stone to Darwin's theory of evolution. We board the Nemo tube for a 4-night excursion around the southern chain of the islands. These rocky chunks of land are pushed up as volcanoes deep under the ocean from a fiery hotspot similar to that under Hawaii. All life here has to arrive either by swimming, drifting, or flying to a harsh environment with little fresh water. Even the vegetation is drifted here by wind or water or been deposited by birds. Each isolated island is therefore its own unique showcase for adaptation and evolution. The crew deliver us on land by Zodiac, and our guide Gabriel leads the treks around the islands. The lack of predators means the animals have little fear and can be approached quite closely. Iguanas are famous residents, with 2 species present, the bulky land iguana and the marine iguana. Even these creatures take on differing forms and colors from island to island. Overseeing one of these lizards take to the water are armies of colorful crabs known as Sally Lightfoot. Another highly variable reptile is the lava lizard, and of course, the giant tortoises. They're not quite the size of a small car, but by tortoise standards, they're huge. Endless snorkeling opportunities exist, such as this sheer-sided volcano called Kickaboot. This colossus rises from the deep water and serves as a home to many aquatic denizens, including the Galapagos shark. Back on the islands, many birds find refuge as they use the rocky cliffs as breeding sites. Swallow-tailed gulls nest on the ground alongside the track and growl at you as you pass by. Male blue-footed boobies court the ladies amongst the scrub and on sandy beaches. The Nazca booby raise ungainly little chicks amid the sharp and jagged boulders. Frigate birds also find romance on the low-lying shrubbery. Brown pelicans hunt for fish along the coastline with spectacular dives down on their prey. Shorebirds patrol the beaches for morsels. Darwin finches and their chicks like the giant cacti growing in these tough conditions. Scurrying along the ground are the Galapagos dove, while the flycatchers move swiftly about following humans to get any insects they may disturb. Several species of island-specific mockingbird are found that are always willing to assist their fellow creatures with personal hygiene. Lastly are the California sea lions that also use the beaches as nurseries. These fellows seem completely unfazed by humans and go about their business as normal. It gets very hot out here under a relentless sun, and sometimes there's no other choice but to resort to a midday nap. Between excursions on the Nemo 2, they keep us well fed, though one must be careful as some of the food is designed to fight back. The town of Coca lays alongside the Rio Napo, one of many major tributaries of the Amazon. A motorized canoe awaits us for the 2-hour trip downstream. Along the banks of the river are areas where large numbers of parrots congregate for minerals necessary to supplement their sometimes toxic diet of jungle food. Sacha Lodge is located off the main channel on a small lake surrounded by lush vegetation. It's a posh affair blended in with the surrounding foliage. Early in the morning, thick steam billows from the sweltering jungle below. High above the canopy is a perfect vantage point to see the locals that can be very difficult to see from the ground below. Luckily, someone has constructed a series of towers connected by suspension bridges 40 meters above the forest floor. Toucanets approach quite close, using the wire cables for a perch. Howler monkeys sun themselves on the treetops. They're made somewhat conspicuous by their orange fur. Another over-the-canopy experience is a tower and platform built into a huge kapok tree that emerges from the surrounding forest. The huge branches that stretch out and away are covered with epiphytes, where huge tarantula spiders find refuge. Spotting scopes are set up to get a closer look at the local fauna, though here visitors come in quite close, such as this raptor. Tanagers occupy pages and pages in the Ecuadorian bird book, and many of these colorful creatures conduct their daily activities amid the expansive canopy of the kapok. Even a toucan takes a chance for a rest on this very lofty perch. Back in the lowlands, a canoe is a handy vessel to negotiate the sodden jungle waterways. Amongst the lakeside vegetation are hoatzin, commonly called stink turkeys around here. Smooth-billed ani and numerous other fast-moving inhabitants are also frequently spotted. Turtles cluster together on limited real estate to sun themselves. Jungle walks are a steamy affair beneath the canopy, with conditions best described as like a steam bath. A wire-tail mannequin is not easy to spot despite its colors. Even trickier are the owls, such as the tawny-bellied owl hiding in a tree hollow, and the crested owl would be easily missed if not for the sharp eye of experienced guides. Monkeys are also quite common, though hard to see through the dense vegetation. Of many differing species, we spot squirrel monkeys, howler monkeys, and the nearly impossible to find pygmy marmoset. The final excursion is to a local village, where the ladies tell us of their day-to-day life. Then, a lunch made from the jungle: plantain, yucca, coca beans, and grubs. This is just a brief account of our time in Ecuador. Stay tuned for an upcoming series documenting our adventures in this remarkable country.